Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, May 13th, not May 13th, July 13th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. AEW talent are not thrilled about Sheamus and the New Day possibly taking up more TV time. I get it. AEW has a large roster. You don't have Rampage anymore, so you're getting these extended Dynamites and Collisions, and spots are limited. Time is limited, and I get it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the New Day are coming to AEW. That's kind of like a done deal. I don't really see Sheamus maybe going to AEW, maybe like a stint here and there, but we'll see. AEW was denied the full seal of Ryan Nemeth contracts in their arbitration fight. The magistrate judge Patricia Barksdale ruled that AEW cannot fully seal Nemeth's 3 wrestler contracts from public view, despite the company asking the court to keep them under wraps. Instead, AEW can refile redacted versions of the contracts along with a new motion to seal. This means the AEW may still be able to black out certain private business details, but the company does not get to bury the whole thing out. Right. It's just, it is what it is. The real reason that Test hasn't been used as an episode for Dark Side of the Ring is that they want more. Right, they can do the episode, but it'll just be about his wrestling career. But they want to go behind his wrestling career. They're looking for friends and families and coworkers to talk about Tess, the person, and that is really, really hard to do. You can't really get people to step up. Daria Ray has re-signed with TNA. As you know, the former Sonya Deville is a weekly authority figure on TNA. I expect her to get back in the ring. I don't know when, but she was really, really solid. She's doing really good in this role as the authority figure opposing the other authority figure, Santino Marella. AEW has a few re-signings. Jack Perry re-signed with the company. I don't think that was ever in doubt. He actually signed his contract on AEW television, and that video package, that was not all work. That was all real. And the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver have all re-signed with AEW. Good news for everything all around. And Tara, the artist, also formerly known as Victoria, has decided to retire. She let her know that her body hurts, guys. She loves wrestling, but she signed a new Legends deal in 2024 with WWE, but she's retired from in-ring competition. TNA has also made a change to Lockdown. It will now be starting the main show will be starting at 5 p.m. Pre-show at 4, doors opening at 3. It was supposed to start at 6, but fans like the earlier start time, so that's what we're getting. MLP, Maple Leaf Pro, one of the up-and-coming independent promotions, will have their weekly TV show Mayhem airing on My AEW. This is just great news, man. This is just awesome. Scotty Moore knows what he's doing, and it sucks that TNA fired him. Maple Leaf Pro has also expanded with another deal with Fight Nation. They are expanding this promotion. The premiere of MLP Mayhem was on TSN, and they're just growing and growing and growing. I love to see it. I love seeing just wrestling companies go. The WWE has been concerned about their ticket sales for SummerSlam for weeks now. SummerSlam is now 2 nights. I think it was 2 nights last year. And ticket sales aren't great. Well, ticket prices are expensive. You've priced out families, you've priced out affordable people, and this is what you're going to get. You also haven't announced a card. Like, you have 3 matches announced. I think you got the Hell in a Cell match and the 2 world title matches. That's it. Oh, and Liv and Io. It's not really something to be excited about. Club WWE has finally launched, and here's what you get for your $99 a year membership. You get the founding member kit. The founding member preview opens up on Friday with annual membership at $99. That breaks down to about $825 a month. You get a package of unique inclusive items made just for founding members. You also get the digital experience. You get bonus points. You get a whole bunch of stuff. You get some so essentially you're spending money to spend more money. You're getting exclusive deals and the right to get the first door and all these perks. You're spending money to spend more money. AEW has announced the date for Full Gear. It will be going down not in Newark, New Jersey this year. It will be actually taking place in Phoenix, Arizona at the Mortgage Matchup Center on Saturday, November 14th. That's a great time date. I believe that'll be a week. Is that a week? That's just 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And WWE has announced that SummerSlam Survivor Series War Games will be taking place August 7th in Houston, Texas. So that will be going down a week before Full Gear. All right, let's see how things go. On the injury side of things, Jack Harbaugh will be making his return to AAA. He confirmed that he will return to the ring on July. He returned to the ring on July 11th edition of AAA, where he faced Minnie Viking Goat and Dragon Lee in a 3-way match. Rhea Ripley's meniscus tear has been keeping her out for months, and she's the current WWE Women's Champion. And the SummerSlam plans hang in limbo. Her and Liv have not defended a championship since winning them at WrestleMania. Logan Paul is doing well on his triceps recovery. We'll see how that goes with him. And Stephanie Vaquer, we got some news on her. She may be back for a Slam. Remember, she was just really banged up, and she was out for a good minute. She had a legitimate second-degree AC joint sprain. Was written off of TV on April 27th episode of Raw. We shall see what goes on with her. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the news, and we should be right back with the week in review. All right, let's get into the week in review. You know, we start off on Monday Night Raw. This show gets a thumbs down. This is for very personal reasons. That's it for Sami. That's it for Sami Zayn, but we'll get into all of that. We opened up with Sami arriving. He's got to defend the WWE Championship on Monday Night Raw, even though he's a SmackDown superstar. It's just fucking dumb. Cody wishes some luck. Gunther then attacks Cody and powerbomb him through a table. Gunther told Sami he was a disgrace and a fluke champion. Gunther smashed Cody into Sami's car door, and Cody was left bleeding, and Sami was stunned. And guess what? Cody's out of the match. We got into the ring with Seth and LA Knight. Seth said he didn't care about Punk, as we were in Chicago. He focused on beating Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. He said Roman was the chosen one from day one and has never been held accountable, which is very much true. He said he's got to beat Roman. Knight interrupted and mocked Seth's promo. Knight says Seth manipulates numbers to hold others down. Seth said he respected Knight and would bury him after winning the title. Jimmy Uso then came out of nowhere and super kicked LA Knight. Told him not to talk about his family. Pierce yelled at Gunther for injuring Cody. Aldis confronted Gunther, and Gunther insulted Aldis as a failed wrestler. Damn. Pierce told Aldis was risking permanent leave. We go into our next match, which was the World Tag Team titles, as the Street Profits were defending against the Vision. And look, fine match, solid match, but the Vision have the belts back after Maxine Dupree came in. Lobo, Angelo Dawkins, Theory pinned Dawkins after that appearance. So we got new champions, and Maxine celebrated with Theory giving him a kiss. Looks like she's officially a part of the Vision. Heyman told Theory he wasn't talking to him. He was praising Maxine. This is all backstage. Otis and Tozawa were heartbroken, and the Street Profits were frustrated. Doctors refused to clear Cody, and he insisted he could wrestle, but was denied. Pierce said the situation was dire. We'll have to see what happens later on. Liv said they had all the mental and what Raquel won the IC title. Raquel said the title was good as hers, which we get to another backstage segment with Penta said he was excited for the IC Chamber Gauntlet match, which is going down tonight on Raw. And he bragged about injuring Ray. Rusev mocked Dragon Lee's English, blah, blah, blah. So Ruka put the IC title on the line against Raquel Rodriguez. So hit her early aerial offense, and Raquel controlled with power. But Liv and Roxanne interfered at ringside. Io returned, attacked Liv and Perez. So hit a soul snatcher on the distracted Raquel, retaining the championship. We got the in-ring segment. Paul Heyman doing Paul Heyman things, pumping up Brock, pumping up Oba, but also, saying that Brock's going to win. Oba came out, rebuttal, and said, we're going to go to hell, blah, blah, blah. Same old. You've seen this kind of segment before. Adam Pearce told Sami Zayn that he has someone in mind to face Sammy later tonight, so prepare for a new opponent. Chad Gable and Dragon Lee took on Ethan Page and Rusev, with the latter getting the W. Rusev applied the accolade and Dragon Lee tapped out. Rusev kept it on, so Gable tried saving him, Ethan dropped him with an egoplex and then dropped Joe Hendry. Rusev could not be pried off of Dragon Lee. Jackie Ribbon next Jimmy Uso about to attack, and Jimmy said it was time to step up. Knight confronted Jimmy, 5-2 blindsided Knight, and all right, let's see what's going on with the bloodline. Pierce said he called 3 times. Aldis said he secured Sammy's opponent. Aldis told Pierce to say thank you, and Pierce looked uneasy. That opponent is none other than CM Punk, and of course, we're in Chicago. CM Punk returns, WWE Championship match. You know what happens. CM Punk won. He's the new WWE champion. I don't like it. I absolutely hate it. I'm so mad they did this to Sami Zayn, and the worst part is he's probably not getting the championship back anytime soon. Over on Dynamite, we got a couple new champions being crowned. This show gets a thumbs up. So we were with Omega, and he said this was do or die, and he just needed Nakazawa, who's been his friend from the very get-go. Nakazawa was there. Omega said MJ just beat him. He shake his hand, but it wouldn't be easy. And Omega asked MJF had what it took to kill him in the ring, and MJF said he was ready. Opening contest. This was a Dynamite Beach Break as well. We opened up with Ciampa versus Jericho. Jericho attacked Ciampa during Jericho's entrance. They just fought and brawled everywhere, blood, and ultimately Ciampa won with as he threw sand in Jericho's eyes and dropped him with the psycho knee. Then after the match, he hit Jericho with a metal bucket. Was about to drill this man, electric drill, until security stopped him. This match went about 20 minutes. I don't think it needed to go that long, but this is a special episode, so you know, we do what we do. Ospreay was backstage and said MJF wasn't top 50 and relied on tactics. MJF said he restored AEW's feeling and he would break Omega's neck. MJF then spat in Ospreay's face and Ospreay punched him. Security separated them. All right, we'll see what goes down. Listen, the Death Riders are rubbing off on Ospreay. Takeshita put the International Championship on the line against former friend Kyle Fletcher in a fantastic affair. Fletcher ended up getting the sheer drop brainbuster and then a top rope brainbuster, as he usually does, to finish up opponents to win the championship. And Kyle Fletcher is your new International Championship. I believe this happened because I think Takeshita is in the G1. And you don't want to have your champion over there. That's why you have the national champion over there. We then got post-match with Foley coming out congratulating Fletcher and praised him, and he praised the match, and he said Fletcher said Takeshita was never his friend. Callis insulted Foley, and Foley threatened him. When Foley threatens you get scared. Kevin Knight still, he still wanted that AEW World Championship match, but y'all didn't win the match at Forbidden Door. Andrade interrupted and confronted Don Callis, which then led to a chase backstage, and Callis said Andrade could earn a national championship shot by beating Jake Doyle. Andrade said, how you know? he's milking this. As they got him backstage, Darby attacked them with the skateboard cage, was shocked by another booby trap. Darby's out electrocuting people, and they kept brawling them. We got a random tag team match with Ospreay and Moxley taking on the Work Horsemen, and the Work Horsemen are good opponents for someone like Ospreay and Moxley. These dudes are hard hitting, they're solid in the ring. You'll get the best out of everybody, and it was a good match. Ultimately, obviously, Ospreay and Moxley won. And then we are the vignette talking about Sheeta, and she said TBS stands for the best is Sheeta, and she called her the ace of TBS, and she promised dominance. Well, guess what? We had our Casino Gauntlet match with the winner becoming the new AEW TBS champion, and our entrants were, not for the TBS champion. This was the Casino Gauntlet to become the number one contender for the women's title championship match at Redemption. Whew. Sheeta won the championship last week, I believe. Sheeta won the championship last week. So the entrants were Athena and Maya Ward. Of course, they were 1 and 2. Sky Blue, Mina Shirakawa, Julia Hart, Thunder Rosa, and Willow Nightingale. Mercedes Moné was watching from the Lifeguards Tower, and Tekla was on commentary, so this has made it interesting. Tekla watched from commentary, like I said. Rosa hit the Samoan drop, but out of Where we got our surprise entrant, which was Willow Nightingale making her return. She dropped people with spine busters, pinned Julia Hart. She is now the #1 contender for the AEW Women's World Championship. Tekla attacked Willow, but then the Divine Domain attacked Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Mercedes then attacked Willow and then hit Tekla with the belt. Looks like we got ourselves a nice little alliance with Mercedes and the Divine Domain. We got a 6-woman tag coming up. Jack Perry re-signed with AEW, said he wasn't going anywhere. He wants to become world champion. Speedball said Dan Callis took so much from him, he's going to take the national championship from Mark Davis. Our main event was MJF Kenny Omega AEW World Championship, and if MJF wins, Kenny Omega cannot challenge for the World Championship anymore. MJF insulted Florida, bragged about kicking out of the One-Winged Angel. Omega started early hitting the moonsault from the lifeguard stand and controlled the match. MJF hit a package pile driver and tombstone on the chair, but listen, Kenny was not going to be denied. Kenny hit multiple V-triggers, 4 through the damage. Ospreay stopped MJF from using the Dynamite Diamond Ring. MJF then hit Kenny with a low blow and a bell shot. Kenny kicked out at 1, hit 3 more V-triggers. One-Winged Angel. We got ourselves a new AEW Men's World Champion. Just an awesome match. Omega celebrated. Ospreay watched from backstage. MJF was left stunned. Over on Impact, this show gets a fist. We got new beginnings going on. All right, so we start off with our opening. Got the Hardys coming out. They are putting the tag team titles on line against the Great Hand. Solid match, but it was a quick match. Of course, the Hardys won. Jeff hitting the Swanton Bomb on John Skyler for the W. After the match, Carlos Silver presented them with the belts, and Mustafa Ali, Agent Zero, walked down a ramp, maybe possibly calling their shot as Ali made a phone call and left. We're backstage with Lady Yingling. She is in the main event tonight, getting her rematch for the Knockouts Championship. She said losing to Zaya cost her a friend, and tonight was about fighting, not excuses. She's vowed to reclaim the Knockout Championship, and the match is no disqualification. We got the King's speech with Frankie Kazarian. Moose was his guest. Moose's Slammiversary was emotional and meaningful. Frankie joked Moose's family needed therapy. Moose said he was the face of the franchise. Frankie said Moose was in the conversation. Moose said he is the conversation. Frankie said he's the king. Moose questioned who crowned him. AJ French and Expressions entered, and they said Moose left the NFL because he feared him. Moose challenged AJ, and they accepted for next week. Elijah announced he was targeting the TNA World Championship. He's coming for that belt, and he said his rise was just beginning. Indy Hartwell took on Vicious Vicky Venuto in a Knockouts TV title tournament. Obviously, Indy Hartwell was going to win this match, and of course she won this match. She hit the Hurts donut for the W. We got the injury report featuring the concierge, Lei Ying Lee, and Ali. Matthew Ruho said Nick Nemeth was in peak conditions. Fabian Eichner, we got a feature on him, just talk about his childhood and his career motivations. Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa took on the Righteous and the System in a triple threat tag. Slater and Sosa double teamed Dutch early. Hit dives on the outside. Looks like we got a nice little team going on as they get the W. Sosa hit the running uppercut on Bear for the W. Santino was backstage dancing the Sosa dance. Dario Ray interrupted him, and Ryan Nematt warned that he might interrupt KC's segment. Santino just kept on dancing. Jody Threat took on the independent standout Gabby Forza in a really fantastic match. Keep your eyes out on Gabby Forza. Threat hit her early clothesline, but Gabby hit the Vader splash for a near fall. Threat with the running knee, back and forth action here, but Gabby ultimately hit the powerbomb for a near fall, and then Threat hit the F5 for the win. I'm almost sure Rosemary's finisher is also the F5, but Jody Threat advances in the tournament. Ali was speaking to someone off camera and said change was needed and that they were right, and he set something up for next week. Casey Navarro said he looked up to Nick Nemeth and felt betrayed, and he didn't know why Nick turned on him. Nick said Casey didn't deserve to stand near him, and Casey said he beat Ryan, so Ryan didn't have it. Ryan then attacked Casey from behind, and Nick told Casey to never come near his family again. In our main event, Knockouts Championship with the line, Zaya Brookside putting the belt on the line against Lei Ying Lee. Ali attacked before the bell even started, hitting Yeah, Zaya Brooks out with a drop kick, and Lee dominated early. Dives to the outside, set up the table, but Zaya backed her up with a kendo stick. Zaya flipped the table to taunt the fans. Ultimately, Lee crashed into a pile of chairs after a missed dive, and Zaya hit the dark side for the win, retaining the championship. There it is. Listen, Zaya is here. She is now. Over on SmackDown, the show gets, I guess, the fist. The inevitable obviously was going to happen, and it did happen. Nick Aldis returned to Power, introduced CM Punk, and listen, he said he understands, one, why he's on SmackDown. NBC negotiated that if they wanted him here. Punk said the title shot fell out of the sky like he called it. He said he'll wrestle anyone on TV. He offered Sami Zayn a rematch because he understands his feelings and Sami Zayn's crash out. He named potential challengers, but didn't say Cody Rhodes. Of course, Cody came out, and they agreed to fight for the title at SummerSlam, and that's it. That's it. That's it. Jade Cargill said she'd kick Alexa Bliss's face because Charlotte won the games. And Misha said they already stomped Charlotte out, which gets us to Finn taking on Tama Tonga. You know, these dudes go back to New Japan, but we're kind of just touching on that stuff. And nice solid match. Ultimately, Balor hit a moonsault on both the Tongas, and he dropped him with the coup de grace that gets the W. Mello said he has always proven that he deserves the title shot. He mocked Yachty's music career because it makes sense for Yachty to be a psychic because all he ever does is features, which is true. And he said Trick's aura won't help him beat, him, Mello. He promised to show that he's the rightful contender. Truth. We got stuff with Truth and Fraxi and the War Raiders and the title shots and whatever. We're moving on. Aldis told Sammy that he granted him a mental health break, and Sammy complained about Punk versus Rose being made official. Gunther stormed in and demanded Aldis fix his mistake, and Gunther said that he deserved to be in the title match. We'll see what happens. As Aldis said he'd consider it. Jimmy called out Solo, but Royce came out. Royce said that Jimmy's family business was affecting him and said loyalty makes family, not blood. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, blood is thicker than the water. That is not the saying. The saying is the blood of the covenant is than the water of the womb. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which means the family that you choose is the water of the womb is thicker. You know what I mean? The family that you choose is the family that you actually have, not the family that you're born into. Fatu warned Keys to stop mentioning the OTC, and Jimmy said Keys was crossing the line he couldn't return from, and Royce was like, I'm crossing it. All right, we get the match, Jimmy versus Royce. But Solo appeared. Fatu interrupted him, and Jimmy hit the spear on Royce to get the W. Fatu ended up beating down Solo. Keys tried stopping him, but Fatu refused. He hit a super kick and then sent out on Solo and almost murdered the man, but told him to show up on Raw on Monday. Punk, being the asshole that he is, chided Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano. He said he heard Gunther demanding a title shot, and LeRae confronted Punk for screwing Sammy. LeRae said Sammy was the real voice of the voices, which is true. Punkster Gargano needed to get back to being Johnny Wrestling. She needed to get back to being Candice LeRae. He's just a piece of shit, CM Punk. Alexa Bliss took on Jade Cargill, and you know how it was going to go. B-Fab and Michin interfere. Jade hit the pump kick, get the Jaded. 1, 2, 3. She defeats Alexa Bliss. They then ended up beating down Bliss and Flair after the match. Jade attacked Bliss's elbow with a chair, and listen, these three have been dangerous. Look, they got B-Fab and Michin over, and they're winning matches. That's just how it's going. Trick couldn't find his U.S. title until Yachty gave him a new title with fur on it. Yeah, it's so bad it's good. He then put the championship on the line against Carmelo Hayes in a solid back and forth match. Hayes set up for the nothing but net until one Baron Corbin made his return, dropping both of them. He dropped Trick and Mello with the end of days. Looks like he's coming for that championship. In our closing segment was Gunther demanding Aldis fix his mistake. Aldis booked Gunther and Sammy versus Punk and Rose at Saturday Night's main event, which is just a stupid ass match. Gunther said he didn't It didn't fix anything. Aldis said his only mistake was bringing Gunther to SmackDown. Gunther attacked Aldis and locked him in a sleeper, choking him out. Clearly, this is leading to them facing each other at SummerSlam. Cody ran in for the save as the show ended. Over on Collision, we are setting up for redemption. Hangman made his return, and he said he's a man of his word. He reflected on his loss to MJF, and he vowed not to chase the title, but he's looking forward to the TNT National, Continental, and International Championships. Let's see where this goes. And he said he remembered those words that someone once said to him, I think it's Swerve. He's promised to find something new to chase us. He won't let the World Championship define him. Good stuff there. Bandido put the Ring of Honor World Championship on the line against Katsuyori Shibata. These two dudes had just a standout match, man. Just awesome. Ultimately, Bandido won, blocked the Shibata low blow, and cradled him for the W. Renee Paquette was backstage with Shida and Harley. Renee was interviewing him, and Harley congratulated Shida, and Shida said Harley wasn't on her level. Well, the championship is on the line next up, as the best is Shida. Solid match, but Shida applied her ankle lock, Falcon Arrow, arm lock, submission combo, getting the tap out win over Harley. Harley's come so far. Remember, she is the first ever tag team champion. Women's champion in AEW. Shida refused to release the hold until Queen Aminata ran in to make the save, and Shida ran away. As Queen Aminata checked in Harley. Shida and Aminata? Redemption? I would not be mad at Shida having a short reign just to get the title to Queen Aminata. It's kind of like how they put the Women's Intercontinental Championship after it was on Lyra Valkyria to get it to Becky to kind of help raise the prestige of it. We were backstage with the Lethal Twist and Ricochet, and Lexi was, asking the demand about what's going on. Matt Sydal was warning Lethal not to join the demand. Ricochet mocked Sydal and referenced their Japan tag team run. Sydal told to Ricochet, "You're bald," and he ran off. Now, the Don Callis family celebrated Fletcher's international championship win, and he says they now hold 3 major belts. They hold the international, the TNT, and the national championship. But Mox got a hold on the Continental. Trent mocked Darby for using explosives, and Fletcher said they run AEW now and forever. Woo-hoo-hoo! The Conglomeration came out first, the trio champions, and he said Brawl and the Pro Part was cool, but there's someone else that made their return, and it was Willow Nightingale, the other member, one of the members of the Conglomeration. She returned from injury. She adjusts Shida, she adjusts Mercedes, and says she wasn't walking in Redemption's number contender, and she will be walking out as Redemption as champion to challenge Mercedes at All In. The Death Riders took on Top Flight, AR Fox, and Commander. Solid match, fast-paced, multi-man tag team match with constant dives and counters. Commander making his return. Dazzled with his aerials, and Claudio dominated with his powers. Solid match, but ultimately Moxley won with the running stop, and Garcia pinned AR Fox. Moxley said it was too easy and mocked Kenny Omega. Declared Death Riders against the world. The Death Riders are who you need them to be. Divine Dominion mocked the Sisters Ascending the tag team division, and you're not going to stop. And Tekla says she only trusts 3 people: Sky Blue, Julia Hart, and herself. And she warned Mercedes that you see what I do to presidents, you don't want to know what I do to CEOs. She mocked Willow as well for being this comeback kid. She called Willow a happy dumb bitch. And the Dominion vows to dominate. I am so curious where this is all leading to. And don't forget, the Brawling Birds are right there. We got the Bang Bang Gang with their dog rescue. They promoted the adoption for dogs, and they're gonna spay and neuter the dogs. I don't know. We're gonna see where these things go. Brian Cage took on Zach Wentz. He got the W, dropping him with the drill claw, and then we got Trent versus Darby Allin. Trent dominated early, but Darby countered the Avalanche Code Red. Countered with the Avalanche Code Red and the Coffin drop. After the match, Cage attacked Darby. Mark Davis joined in. Speedball ran in to make the save. All right, looks like we got a little tag team match going on. Let's see where things go. Willow wanted some backup in this women's division, seeing as how you got the Triangle of Madness, you got Mercedes aligned with the Divine Dominion. Who can she get? Well, she went and got Heian and Maya World. She promised Maya the first title shot after beating Thekla. We got the alliance formed. We got a video of Andrade on a yacht, and he said Kyle's promised him gold, and asked, well, how you know? He toasted his future. And let's see what goes on next. In the main event match was Mark Davis putting the national championship on the line against Speedball Mike Bailey. Really fun match. Bailey attacked early with the kicks, but Davis countered with his power. He hit Bailey's toes with the cloverleaf. Then he hit Bailey hit a triangle moonsault, shooting star senton, but Davis power drove Bailey on an announce table, and that turned everything. Bailey tried hitting multiple near falls, but it wasn't enough after the distraction from Jake Doyle. Davis hit a lariat and power driver for the W, retaining the national championship. And that is how we ended the show. Our matches of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Not as many as we had in the last couple of weeks, but we do what we do. From Dynamite, Beach Break, Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita for the International Championship. Also from Beach Break, Kenny Omega, MJF for the AEW Men's World Championship. From Collision, Bandido, Katsuyori, Shibata for the Ring of Honor Men's World Championship. Mark Davis and Speedball Mike Bailey for the AEW National Championship. And the G1 has started. We got one match that really stood out right now, and that was Yota Tsuji versus Konosuke Takeshita. Our stars of the week, Willow Nightingale for making her return, Kenny Omega for becoming your new AEW Men's World Champion. But that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look at the screen what we got coming up. And you can check out the socials. Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations 52 on Instagram. And of course, the 215 on Twitter. I see you when I see you. Peace.